Hello, everybody. I'm back. Watch out. We're getting started. I hope everyone's got the right link for the event today. So we might have posted the wrong one. So we are streaming on YouTube. If any Dao Core team members want to, or co-owners actually want to pop up on stage, you are all more than welcome. I think we can fit up to 9 people or so on stage, Jeff, if that's correct. So yeah, do message us on Discord or post onto YouTube chat and comments, and be happy to pull you up so we could do some Q&A with you. One other thing, just very quick note. I know you all love your POAP, so one thing is, even though we're streaming this live on YouTube, we are going to be doing a POAP drop later in the session, but you're going to need to be on Discord in the live stream channel. So we'll give you some instructions on how to do that, but just make sure you're kind of hanging out in Discord at the same time. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to plug it into YouTube chat or on Discord in the live stream channel. We'll make sure we get onto that. Hey, Gibby. Hello, everybody. What's up? Bali is very nice. I'm just kind of working nonstop 24/7 partnerships and investor deals and all this stuff. So it's very tiring, I have to say. I'm on calls all day long. But we are making progress, though. It's super exciting. So I'm going to share some updates there. But yeah, I think we'll just jump right into the agenda. So I'm gonna do a screen share here and pull up the page, and let me know if this is coming through for you guys. Good. All right. Thank you, Jeff. All right. So quick intro. Big shout out, Jeff. Thank you so much for hosting last week's brand workshop. Very curious to see the outputs of that and how we want to start to incorporate it. And I think we've got a few polls in place, as well as a contest to figure out our nickname for the community. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. I wanted to, every week we're trying to introduce and dox some of our key core team members. So for this session, I wanted to introduce Paul Freeman, who's joining on as our Chief Impact Officer. Paul, would love to get you to talk about a bit yourself, your background, what you're aiming to do, why you joined. Would you like to give a bit of an intro there?
Sure. Thanks, Jeremy. I'm pleased to be associated with all of you. I'm very excited about this project, and I joined because Jeremy and I were seated by chance next to each other at a dinner a couple months ago, and he started talking about what he was doing, the mission, and I was immediately engaged. I found it compelling, and I really didn't have any choice but to try to be associated with all of you. So my background is varied. After school, I lived and worked in Washington, D.C. I was on Capitol Hill. I worked in the Senate. I worked for trade groups. I moved to California about 35 years ago, where I've been a consultant, and my clients have included former Senator and presidential candidate Gary Hart. In 1989, when the Dalai Lama won the Nobel Peace Prize, I did his media and events for him. I've worked for nonprofits, cause-related nonprofits in a variety of areas, education, homelessness, and worked for institutions like the University of California. And now I'm doing whatever I'm told by Jeremy. So I'm very pleased to be a part of this. I'm very excited about this vision to help make a difference in the world. So thank you for the opportunity, Jeremy. And I look forward to working with y'all.
Thanks, Paul. We're excited about this. You're bringing in this wealth of expertise and experience from these very traditional sectors that crypto and Web3 is not fully connected into. So I think it's amazing for us to help bridge the gap between these traditional government institutions and NGOs into the fold. So that's very much in line with our mission. So really excited to have you here. And in terms of some of the key objectives and responsibilities, so on top of helping us with fundraising and building capital so we can really scale the operation in a team, I think it's really critical that as we're trying to define and measure good, what are the right impact metrics that we want to build into the programs? How do we design that? How do we communicate it? How do we tell the story? So yeah, Paul's going to be playing a very big, role in helping us to really outline and structure a lot of the data and storytelling. So yeah, thanks for joining, and we're just beginning. So really excited to have you. Okay, so we're going to jump into the meat of the meeting. So I can share a few quick project updates with you guys and white paper highlights. For this session, I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview around how we're actually going to be setting up our tokenomics. And this is particularly with the good token that we're going to launch, which is basically our native token and cryptocurrency for the proof of good DAO and the whole metaverse and game experience that we're building out. So one thing that I wanted to highlight here, you can actually see a lot of the details on how we're going to manage the treasury on the white paper. It's under the Dao Governance. And essentially, we're splitting up the treasury, how it's distributed and allocated to different stakeholders within the DAO. And what might be more handy here is just having a visual representation of that. So can you guys see my Miro board all right here? Is this coming through? Okay, yeah, it's coming through. All right, so essentially the way this entire ecosystem works and is built to be sustainable is we're going to have multiple streams of revenue coming into the DAO treasury. So that's going to be in the form of our membership NFT sales. So specifically, we started off with our POG packs. Those are going to continue to grow, and we'll be releasing multiple sets over time. Whether they're purely wearables or pets or avatars, we'll have the ability to scale from there. Every time an NFT is actually traded on the secondary markets, we have a small transaction, a royalty that actually flows directly into the treasury anytime something is traded, say on OpenSea, for example. We are also going to be implementing an upgraded version of our mystery box. We'll have basic, epic, and legendary boxes with different prizes and rewards built into them. And so the higher tier ones will have better drop rates and better rewards, but will be a paid version. We're using both good points and good tokens to actually open up the boxes. Similarly, you will be leveling up the NFTs and POG packs and memberships as well. And by doing so, actually increases the drop rates you're going to have for the good tokens. And then there's ways to increase your governance participation using good tokens. And then we can also incorporate a treasury yield. So when we own assets and crypto inside the treasury, we can stake it, we can put it into other yield protocols and just generate passive revenue for the treasury. So these are all the different ways that the DAO is going to be able to generate funding and revenue in order to supply all of our activities. So the way we're going to split up the treasury, so as all this money flows in, we're going to be divvying it up into different groupings and allocations. So 20% is meant for the team and advisors to build a platform, to scale it, to continue to operate over time, to make sure that we're continuing to add value and features over time and support the community. 10% will be reserved for treasury yields so that it'll have passive income and grow over time. 20% will be allocated to the oracles. So this is where we're going to be dropping the good tokens. Oops, this should be good tokens. Good tokens onto the charities that have been approved by the DAO, respective to the amount of good deeds that they're verifying. We've reserved 10% as well for ecosystem development, and this can be in the form of dropping good tokens to partnered projects, to influencers and key opinion leaders, to other Web3 metaverse games that we're partnered with. We have 10% also allocated to all the different POG volunteers and to POG validators as well. So we'll be dropping good tokens for everyone that participates there. And the big chunk as well is we really want to allocate a lot of, or the higher proportion towards our community. So every month we're aiming to aim to do good token airdrops for all of the Pog Pack holders, particularly Genesis Pog Pack holders. And now what we're working on is actual mathematical breakdown and the economics behind this, so that we can ensure that this is sustainable and can keep going on in perpetuity. So that's a lot of the work that the team's now spending some time in. So Philip and Sai are kind of taking point on the tokenomics pod in our team and starting to flesh out those economic models. We're actually setting up grant proposals to universities to actually help us build out the sustainable model. So we have some grants proposals, and we're going to start to bring in some PhDs and students to actually help us work on the modeling and kind of give a stamp of approval. So we are already partnered with Suffolk University. We've now got our connection to Harvard and Cambridge and potentially Yale as well. So we'll be submitting those grant programs, start to pull these students and PhDs to help us certify this whole thing. So that's just a quick preview. The tokenomics are absolutely critical here. It's how this entire economic system is going to work and how we actually give value into the DAO owners, the DAO members, and the charities, and make it all profitable, sustainable for everybody. So yeah, we're really designing this thing to be like real and sustainable and not some like crazy rug pull that has like no pathway to success. I think a lot of that stuff is happening these days, where you see like, 10 million% APY, go stake your stuff, and then all of a sudden the entire economy collapses. I think we have to be very smart about thinking long term. So yeah, happy to answer questions here. We will, as we start to finalize the tokenomics, we'll start to publish this, and then we'll plug it into the white paper, so it'll be publicly accessible. But just wanted to give you guys a preview of what's working, what we're working on currently, and then how we're designing this thing for sustainability. Any questions or comments? I don't know if anything's been pulled up on chat, Jeff, if you see anything.
Yeah, nothing so far over on YouTube. You can go over to Discord really quick and take a look if anybody has dropped anything over in the live stream, or any of our moderators have already answered. I think we're good so far.
All right.
We're rolling.
Okay, cool. So next thing on the agenda is just taking a look at our current proposals that are active on our governance. So we do have 2 new ones that are in place. One is a very simple one. So everybody that's got a Pog Pack now, you can actually go and vote on Snapshot. We have a contest running for what we're going to nickname ourselves, whether it's Ultraversers, Pog Rangers, Pog Packers, Golden Hearts, Poggies. So this is your moment to kind of choose our nickname, and we're going to find out how this plays out. It looks like Poggies is taking the lead right now. I wonder if it should be Poggies with 2 G's. Is it Poggies, or is it Pogies or Pogies? So I don't know if there's any confusion there, but maybe. Anyway, yeah. All of you guys. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
No, it's a bad joke. I was just going to say it reminds me of a Porgy with only 1 G, but that might be the copy editor in me. Or a Porgy, a fish. Anyways.
Yeah, so yeah, please do vote. This proposal is already active and ready to go. We have another one as well to propose a maximum number of votes per person. I do think this one is quite a vital rule to have in place because there's a philosophical principle that we have, which is we want to avoid a situation where people can just buy in as many tokens as they want and then vote however they can and just dominate all the proposals. So having a cap and limit to that is actually really important. And the way we want to also encourage and incentivize additional influence in voting and governance is actually through the good that you do. So I think a kind of a sister proposal to this will be, here's ways that we can increment the amount of votes that you can have. And a large part of that will be the more good points that you have, the more you level up your membership and NFTs, the more votes will grant. So that's going to be kind of future rules to put in place, but this is the first step towards doing that. And so if you guys want to see more of the details, you can pop into Discourse, our forums, and be a part of the discussion and add your comments and your opinions or suggestions, or share some data as well. So yeah, big thank you to Pineapple for throwing us out there. I appreciate it, man. It looks like we've already got some good conversations already underway here. And again, discourse, you can just sign up very easily. Just link up your Discord account or just sign up with your email. It's quite easy to do, and hopefully it's quite intuitive. So stay tuned. We are going to also be submitting a proposal for you to earn good points for participating in the DAO voting and proposals and conversations as well. So anyway, those are some quick updates on the project side. We've got a lot going on at the moment. And as I mentioned at the last DAO Hall I hosted, this month is really about building out the proof of good protocol, the proof of good ledger, the API for oracles, and onboarding them. So the dev team's really kind of focused in on that at the moment. And I think we'll probably have some more nice updates to kind of show you a demo of the UI and some of the mock-ups next week. All right. So the big thing for today is our workshop. So we're going to do something a little bit special, and we've got a killer strategy underway in terms of really accelerating our funding and starting to put some rocket fuel onto the project. And there's two big things we want to raise the money for in the short term. One is really staffing up our dev and engineering team. As you know, we've got an army of volunteers now, about 70 people. But in order for this to scale, we actually need to really bring on our full-time staff or activate a lot of our volunteers onto paid staff members and have them start to work full-time. So we actually start to move faster and really scale the organization. So investing in engineering and design is really critical. The second piece is actually the marketing side. So we are a crypto project or a Web3 project. And a big part of actually how you drive success is actually really strong marketing and realistically building up the hype. So the other area we're going to be spending from the capital raise is actually activating some really heavy marketing and hype. This past couple of months is really about building our foundation and building our core community, getting our DAO co-owners, the ones that care about this mission the most. But now we're actually ready to start to expand that audience base and actually bring on thousands and thousands more people who would be either invest in a DAO by pre-purchasing tokens or buying the NFTs. So in order for us to raise capital, we have a really interesting opportunity here, which is through BitDAO. So for those that are not familiar, BitDAO is another DAO, and essentially it's just the biggest treasury on the planet in terms of DAO. So if you look at their treasury, they have $2 billion sitting in their multi-sig wallet, $2 billion. And the primary purpose of this treasury is to allocate it towards other Web3 projects and help accelerate Web3 adoption and innovation. So the primary function of their DAO is to submit proposals and say, hey, here's an awesome project that should earn, or that should be allocated X dollars of investment in order for them to accelerate and actually create this connection into the BitDAO ecosystem and really create this whole web of connected projects funded by DAOs. So instead of a individual angel investor or a venture capitalist firm where they buy up all the value and it's just owned by a few people, the idea here is that an entire DAO, which is a broader community, gets to decide and participate and make the decision and gain the value out of it. So the way that BitDAO works is essentially they have their discourse and they have their snapshot. So similar to how we've got our versions, they have their own forums here where the first step is submitting a soft proposal and saying, hey, here's our project. Here's what we propose in terms of budget and funding. After it goes through discussion on their discourse forums, then an official proposal is submitted onto their snapshot. So you can see some of the interesting funding projects that have taken place here. So one of them is Game7.io, who we are actually now partnered with, which is awesome. You can check out the kind of funding that they got. $500 million was approved by this DAO to be allocated to Game7. It was voted and approved by 11 people. 11 people in that DAO were all that was needed to fund $500 million towards this project. This is the magnitude of opportunity that exists here. You can see their full proposal, which is just a Google document that outlines what they're planning to build and what they're getting funding for. So you can kind of read through and understand the vision. So we got connected to the folks that are running this project, as well as the folks that are running BitDAO. So we are going to be doing a similar thing for Proof of Good. And what I have prepared today that I'm going to walk through for you guys is our version of this proposal. And the call to action here is that we need your help. Everybody here, we can raise a ton of money. And this can actually accelerate everything that we're doing and also drive the value of all the tokens that we have, and then actually allow us to have the impact that we're envisioning for the DAO. So the way you can help is actually being a part of this thing. You can very easily join the BitDAO discourse forums and Snapshot just by signing up. And we have a strategy for how we can actually activate everybody, but I'll get to that towards the end. So we have actually prepared our own BitDAO grant proposal, and that's what we're going to walk through today. I'm going to try to be brief, but literally what I'm going to do is just read a lot of what we've actually written, and I'll skip certain sections that may be redundant or just too granular, but everybody can actually go read this document now. The URL I've just made public, so I can even post it onto our YouTube chat here if you guys want to see it. And yeah, let's get going. If you guys have questions or comments, don't hesitate to plug it into the chat. So here we go. Executive summary. Proof of Good is a Web3 social protocol that makes good deeds provable, fun, and profitable, driving engagement and a sustainable economy through the world's first give-to-earn game. Our vision is a global ecosystem that drives good deeds at every point of engagement, brings global communities together, and generates economic value. The mission of the Proof of Good DAO is to create a more compassionate, prosperous, and sustainable global society. The overview. The Proof of Good protocol creates a digital identity and evolving reputation defined by verifiable impact, rewarding those who do good through gamification and tokens. This is the foundation for a metaverse game, Pog World. Level up your avatar and collectibles the more good you do. Analogy, Pokemon Go for doing good. The platform serves as a decentralized, user-curated directory for discovering trustworthy nonprofits, DAOs, and other causes with user-driven ratings and reviews on the charities. The analogy here is building the Yelp for charities. In the game, members will level up with verified real-world good deeds to earn in-game collectibles. The POG protocol is built and governed by the POG DAO, a global community brought together by a shared vision of a better future. So our proposal for BitDAO is BitDAO will invest $5 million to fund 2 years of operations for the Proof of Good DAO, with a payment schedule tied to completion of roadmap phase deliverables. And these funds can be utilized only with approval of a quarterly budget by both BitDAO and POG DAO members. So this is going to be a responsibility on our side to produce and give you fully transparent budget allocations and spending. So our goals as a DAO are to onboard 2 million new users onto Web3. We want to help facilitate and incentivize $100 million donated to approved charities through the DAO Charity Treasury. The Proof of Good protocol and good points will be adopted by 1,000 Web3 projects and 100 traditional NGOs. And 250,000 in extreme poverty will earn a living wage through the POG protocol and pass that same capacity on to others. Benefits to BitDAO. So BitDAO funding will create a massive leverage for real-world impact as we assist in ramping up thousands of social impact organizations and communities around the globe. The BitDAO Treasury will receive $5 million worth of good tokens. Our success will build awareness and bring more passionate and devoted members to BitDAO. The Proof of Good protocol will partner with, support, and accelerate adoption and engagement with other BitDAO projects as well, including Game 7 as well as EduDAO. So these are the problems we want to solve. Charities, NGOs, academic institutions, and DAOs struggle to raise funds and to retain and engage their volunteers and donors. Individuals are not always motivated to do good due to a lack of time or compensation, or doubts concerning the utility of their actions for either themselves or society. DAOs struggle with consistent quality participation in governance. Checks and balances are lacking in DAOs to prevent governance domination by whales. In some cases, there are financial barriers to entry that prevent true inclusion in DAO governance. Charitable organizations do not always operate in alignment with their community's best interests due to a lack of awareness of community needs and or minimal accountability. Internet users are spending over 6 hours a day online on average. The metaverse and crypto economy will only deepen this addiction. We need to develop motivators and economic incentives for people to unplug and care for the real world. So we have a lot of problems to solve, and I think what we're doing is creating a solution for that. So the first segment is in our grand vision, as you can see on our roadmap on our website, we're going to be building Pog World, a metaverse game designed to entertain, inspire, and motivate Pog members to continually give their time, energy, and money to charitable causes. Underlying that is the proof of good, which is a Web3 social protocol. It creates a blockchain-based digital identity and reputation that is based on verifiable impact, which rewards the people who do good. The POG ecosystem connects POG oracles, academic institutions, social impact DAOs, charities, NGOs, with volunteers and donors, and all participants earn tokens for their acts of good. The Proof of Good DAO is a community that owns, maintains, and governs the Proof of Good protocol and POG World. Its responsibility is to ensure that the quality of data on the POG ledger is legitimate and trustworthy, and to continually increase the value of POG World and the DAO's various token assets. How the POG protocol works. So the Proof of Good protocol generates recurring donations of volunteers to charitable causes, social impact orgs, yada, yada, yada. These orgs are verified by the DAO as POG oracles on the protocol. POG oracles receive monthly good token rewards for their data verification and good deeds. And you can learn more about all these details on our white paper, which is available. DAO members earn good points, POAPs, and in-game items for their good deeds. Good points are used to build your reputation, earn cash value rewards, level up NFTs, and unlock perks across the metaverse. Good points level will also determine the level of token rewards earned each month. The Proof of Good ledger is a permanent account of good deeds, a decentralized source of truth. The ledger is open source and public domain, so anybody can build off of this data set. Good deeds are defined and validated by a network of verified social impact orgs, nonprofits, and yada, yada. Wow, I need to cut down every time I say this. These organizations will be Proof of Good oracles. The verification process is defined through the Proof of Good protocol. The protocol, treasury, engineering team, and platform are governed by the Proof of Good DAO. And then NFT collectibles will serve as membership, identity, utility, and a sustainable funding source for the POG DAO treasury. So this is the kind of snapshot of how this system works, with the oracles basically being the source of truth to write over into the protocol and ledger, which then grants the rewards, which enables people to participate and earn their NFTs, and all that activity funds the treasury, which then feeds back into the oracles. So it's a nice abundant cycle that regenerates over time. All right. So the opportunity. So a novel opportunity exists as a function of three converging dynamics. One, the global nonprofit sector is expanding. Two, play to earn gaming is driving mainstream adoption of NFTs. And three, the DAO has emerged as a preferred operating structure for Web3 enterprises. So if you look at the nonprofit sector, it's expected to be $385 billion by 2025. The number of volunteers worldwide is 970 million people. That's the equivalent of over 125 million full-time workers. And approximately 1 in 4 volunteers contribute their time and skills through organizations, and the rest do so directly, helping their neighbors as well as their communities. The economic value of volunteer work is estimated to be $1.348 trillion, or 2.4% of the entire economy. Volunteers count, the work deserves to be counted and more highly valued. So yeah, these people are getting paid zero for the incredible amounts of value they're creating in the world. Charities, NGOs, and academic institutions struggle to retain and engage volunteers and donors, and there's a growing concern among nonprofits, especially with respect to engaging younger donors, volunteers, and their patrons. Another concern is that charitable organizations do not always operate in alignment with their community's best interest due to lack of awareness or understanding of genuine community needs, and or minimal transparency or accountability. 2, play to earn gaming will drive mainstream NFT adoption. Axie Infinity, for example, presently has nearly 2 million daily active users with $2.3 billion in revenue. The legacy game industry is expected to be worth $256 billion by 2025. And DAOs are emerging as the preferred operating structure for most Web3 projects due to governance rights and ownership granted to token holders. They have the ability to raise enormous amounts of capital through community funding, and it is difficult to drive continuous DAO governance participation. So we focus on incentivizing members through earning good points for participation, which is in turn increasing their token drop yield. So we stand at the intersection of these historic trends. We are very early to this game, and not many people are really ready for this, but we are positioned to leverage all of that, improving individuals' lives while advancing the common good and making it profitable for everybody. All right, so why do we need a proof of good ledger? There are actually many reasons. One is a source of truth for good deeds. Truth is more challenging to discern in a modern age because in a digital world, it is easy to manufacture false data, manipulate information, and replicate and distribute a misleading narrative. Currently, there's no clear and unimpeachable qualifier for a good action, nor any standard for tracking and measuring good deeds. Charitable donations, volunteer efforts, education, healing, caretaking, and other acts of kindness are all types of good deeds, not tracked in any organized or reliable fashion. Data sets are fragmented and stored in incompatible and non-transparent silos. Additionally, they are often governed by centralized institutions or private corporations. We believe that specifying, tracking, measuring, organizing, and analyzing good deeds can build a foundation for trust, cooperation, reputation, engagement, and economic value. A trustworthy data set of positive impact enables analyses of progress or regression, holds organizations and individuals accountable, and creates an objective dialogue around what constitutes the greater good for the whole of society and the planet. So that's our source of truth. Next is status and reputation. We are highly social creatures, and embedded in our biology is a need to understand our place in the social hierarchy. Humans seek identity, connection with others, and acceptance in a community. This innate desire manifests in many ways in our culture. We signal status and identity through our monetary assets, clothing, academic accolades, trophies, collectibles, follower counts, NFTs, etc. What if we could communicate status and identity based on provable acts of good that you've done in the world, to show measurable impact on how much suffering you've alleviated, or opportunities you've created, or ecosystems you've improved? In the metaverse, status is tied to your NFT avatars, art, wearable, collectibles, your communities, and your wallet. Your good point score serves as that identifier, with each individual act fully traceable on the blockchain, a status earned through legitimate and verifiable good that you've brought into the world. Credibility and utility. What if your good point score was used across the metaverse to unlock utility, gain access to unique member privileges, be a part of other impact-focused DAOs, earn unique NFT drops, and be granted access to exclusive in-person events? A scoring or reputation system is worthless absent wide adoption and social consensus backing that data set. A transparent, community-owned, DAO-governed protocol established goods points as a reliable source of truth. Trust in the system creates a foundation for organizations and projects to build utility on top of that protocol. Next is economic value. By establishing a core data set and verifiable source of truth, we are then able to build applications, utility, and experiences around a good points framework. For example, your POG pack can enable you to fly 10% faster in a Web3 game, or your good point score unlocks access to certain membership perks in a DAO. NFT identities serve utility in metaverse games, provide exclusive membership to a DAO, and yield a return in cryptocurrency. Collectors will pay crypto to own these NFTs for the utility and status. Connecting real-world problem solving to the metaverse. On average, we spend nearly 27% of our lives on the internet. Web3 and a metaverse will only accelerate this trend as it offers both a deeply engaging and profitable use of time. But what happens to the physical world when we become completely disconnected from it for the majority of our waking lives? The key to bridging the divide between these two worlds is tying our economics and engagement systems back to solving real-world problems. We're building our systems so that your reputation and access to the metaverse improves by making the world a better place. And vice versa, engaging in a metaverse yields both personal and broader benefits in solutions for the physical world. A path through the great call, Rauer. I would imagine for some people, 27% might be kind of minimal. I know I'm like at 90 at this point. Okay, path to redemption. People make mistakes. It's part of the human condition and a nature of reality. Frankly, I fuck up all the time on a daily basis. As a global society, we've created many systems that punish, chastise, or ostracize people that have broken the rules or norms as a deterrent to bad behavior. What if we build a system that cultivates, celebrates, and rewards good behavior? A system that empowers people with a path to redemption, a way to demonstrate that you have learned, healed, and acted to address the negative consequences of your actions. Your good point score is a legitimate resource to build your identity with a new narrative, one centered on positivity and giving, one worthy of compassion and forgiveness. So that's a lot of the whys around where there's a big benefit to having this kind of protocol. So again, highlighting much more about the benefits for BitDAO. So the way it's going to work is that the BitDAO treasury will receive $5 million worth of good tokens via a SAFT agreement. This is a pre-sale of our tokens that we're going to be launching around the June-July timeframe. So essentially, BitDAO will benefit from buying the tokens at a much cheaper price of what by the time we actually launch, it's already going to actually generate a profit. So there is a significant ROI for BitDAO. And this will be specified in our tokenomics paper, the vesting schedule and how it breaks down. BitDAO will also benefit by having awareness to bring more quality and passionate members to their DAO. Our community and network spans across US, EU, SEA, LATAM, Africa, and we continue expanding to additional countries. The protocol, using economic identity and utility incentives, will motivate BitDAO members to continually contribute to the project, and our community network will educate and onboard millions of new users onto Web3. We'll also proliferate BIT, which is BitDAO's native currency, through our prize pool and mystery boxes. So members can spend good points and good tokens to earn randomized prizes in our mystery box, which would include BIT, which then allows them to expand their reach and the amount of people that are using BIT. And we'll add BitDAO as well as a proof of good oracle. So they'll become a reputable source for tracking good deeds, in particular governance and economic support. And the idea is that we're actually, through our incentive mechanisms, we're driving additional governance support and activity on their side. POG oracles will accept BIT as payment for the products and services, driving further adoption, utility, and usage of BitDAO. Will accelerate adoption of Web3 and create massive impact. And the proof of good protocol will partner with support and accelerate adoption and engagement with other BitDAO projects that have been funded by their DAO, particularly EduDAO and Game7. So funding. BitDAO will invest $5 million, as we spoke about before. This allocation can be in BIT, ETH, USDC, or USDT. Really doesn't matter. All of crypto can basically be exchanged or swapped in. They are not the only funders for us. We are already locking in additional VCs, angel investors that are continuing to fund our treasury and our budget for the next 5 years. In total, we are raising over $13.5 million. So this BitDAO will only be one of several sources of funding for the DAO. And we already have commitments from, in fact, we've already got money from YBB, Saris Ventures, XRM Media. We just locked in another investor today with Raw Tech. And that's what I'm kind of doing all the time, is trying to get more people to invest. So how we manage the DAO treasury is basically something I walked through already earlier in the calls. So I'll be able to skip this piece here. And this visual is like kind of the prettier version of the diagram that I showed you guys. So yeah, we have a robust team here, and I'll kind of breeze through this. You guys can actually read through this since the link is now public. But we have several people on the core team with extensive experience in the gaming industry, game design, finance, strategy and venture capital and platform development, traditional government, brand and creative. And as you have just recently met, there's Paul. So this is a sampling of the people that are on the team, it is really this massive organization now of people just really motivated to contribute. And in terms of current traction, when you lump in together both Leyline and Proof of Good, we're now at over 7,500 Discord members. We have 70 plus volunteers building a platform ecosystem. We have 20 plus partnerships and growing in terms of articles and other Web3 collaborative projects. We've already tracked 41,000 good deeds and rewarded them. We've incentivized over 350,000 computing hours donated to scientific research. We've had $10,000 already donated to partners' charities. We've helped facilitate over 1,200 hours of Web3 educations and rewarded that, incentivized 31 blood donations and awarded 12 Axie scholarships. So we're already making a difference here, and we really want to start to scale that. I'm going to breeze through the partners as well. So essentially, there's different categories of partners that we have. The most important are really these proof of good oracles. So Leyline is actually the first proof of good oracle, as we've confirmed via our snapshot proposals. Leyline's focus is really on ending poverty using crypto education, the proof of good protocol, and community building. We have Angel Protocol that is signed on, Boink from UC Berkeley, Suffolk University, Disaster Fighters, Parachute, Forward Protocol, OpenGrants.io, Future Leaders in Cryptocurrency, and more on the way. We also have Metaverse partners and sponsors. So the idea here is that with Web3, the recipe for success is actually cross-pollination and integrating other projects, their tokens, their NFTs for compatibility, such that all our communities actually benefit mutually from each other. So we are actually backed by Polygon Studios, who helps us with marketing, has provided a grant for us. Clayton and GroundX over at Cacao is another blockchain we're very closely aligned with and are working to integrate and build compatibility in the future. Billionaire Zombies Club, big shout out to all the BZC army that's hanging out with us today. Hyper Social Media is focused on Web3 reward systems for their social platform. And then there's a third category, which is play to earn guilds. So play to earn is this massive growth, particularly in developing nations like within Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa. So this is another vector where these guilds are actually providing a lot of resources in terms of education, but also scholarships to help onboard people onto Web3. And so we're partnered with them to reward all of that education. So Unix Gaming is one of our key partners, Acatarina, NFG.gg, and actually we also now have YGG on the list too, which is, I think, the biggest or most funded guild out there. So governance, I'm going to breeze through this as well, because I think we're all probably familiar at this point in terms of governance. But good at some level is subjective, and therefore the system that defines and measured it needs to be dynamic, malleable, and reflective of societal norms as they evolve over time and apply around the world. A decentralized autonomous organization is thus a perfect tool to empower every member of the community to participate in governance and democratically upgrade the system over time. So all of the governance protocols are actually specified in the Proof of Good white paper, and this white paper is really going to serve as our constitution. So it'll be the main rule set that we all follow, and this can be modified via proposals in Snapshot. So the DAO's responsibilities are building a global autonomous community to encourage people to do good, participate in DAO governance, collect NFT avatars, and earn their access of altruism. Educating activists about Web3, DAOs, crypto, NFTs, and how they can be harnessed for good. Empowering the community to participate in a DAO by passing proposals and voting. Developing a proof of good protocol, POG Ledger, and associated platform services. And producing revenue through the sale of POG NFT assets. So the key roles and responsibilities. So we have our DAO core team. So the core team is composed of staff and volunteers who work directly for the DAO to develop the platform and support the community. The core team will have additional votes in the form of honorary NFTs uniquely minted for core team members. DAO governors represent the leadership team of the DAO core team and help guide the organization through strategy, insights, and executive decision-making. A DAO governor has a responsibility to be a signatory for the DAO's multi-sig wallet. Money from the DAO treasury must be approved by 3 signatories minimum. So we'll be starting off with 9 governors and 1 lead governor. Then there's the DAO co-owners, which is all of you guys, as long as you own a Genesis Pog Pack. Owners of exclusive sets of Pog Packs will become DAO co-owners. Exclusive sets are Genesis Pog Packs, early adopter on a good list, and honorary Pog Packs purchased through daily auctions. DAO co-owners have the following benefits. They receive the highest tier of monthly airdrops of good tokens, exclusive Discord server channels and titles, exclusive virtual live events, all benefits of a DAO member, veto rights on governance proposals during a slow start, and access to the DAO core team's internal Slack, Notion, and G Suite tools. Then there's general members. Any individual may become a member of the DAO by owning a POG NFT. A DAO member can participate in proposal writing and voting in conjunction with other member exclusive benefits. Any individual may become a POG member by registering their Web3 wallet on the POG website. Through the Proof of Good protocol, a community member can participate in good deeds and earn good points, ultimately leading to the ability to mint an NFT. So I'm going to skip through the rest of the governance stuff because, again, we're all quite familiar with this at this point with Snapshot and Discourse. But I will call this out, though. Monitoring accountability is a really important part of the ecosystem. The community will have incentives to hold the DAO core team, partnered oracles, and community members accountable. Volunteers will earn good points and NFTs for auditing oracle operations. Distributed teams of moderators will review and approve proof of good submissions. And outside partners will audit our policies and partner vetting processes, providing targeted expertise and guidance. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. Oof, running out of saliva. All right, so this is essentially the final piece here, which is our strategy and our go-to-market plan.
You're doing great.
We're breaking this up.
I want to hop in and say the chat's going wild. People are loving what you're putting up. They're picking up what you're putting down, and yeah, let's get it.
All right, nice. Whew. I'm glad my mic didn't cut out like halfway through. That would have been embarrassing. All right, so we're the strategy here. We're listening for long term, and we're thinking, what is this going to look like 5 years out? So we're breaking these into key phases. So one is where we are right now in Q1. We're focusing first on organic growth, DAO core community, education, and academic credibility. So here we're focused on launching our governance tools, the ledger, membership NFTs, and growing a core community and social channels. I want to make sure we save time for Q&A, so I'll skip the strategy part. But again, you guys can kind of read the strategy and goals behind that. Phase 2 in Q2 is focusing on the actual protocol launch and then onboarding as many oracles as we can and really ramping up the amount of options you have for earning your good points. So we'll launch the Proof of Good Ledger as well as the Oracle APIs, user profiles, decentralized IDs, leaderboards, launch Oracle profiles and rating feedback discovery system, onboarding and automating Oracle Good Deed verifications, and then launching our mystery box. Phase 3 is the good token. So our deadline here is the beginning of Q3 2022, and what we're trying to do is accelerate this even faster. But essentially, this is launch our good token, the ERC20 token. Again, this is where we're literally dropping money into people's wallets for doing good. We're going to be implementing the sinks for the good token. And when I say sinks, it's where you actually spend the good token. So whether it's governance proposals, mystery boxes, or leveling up your NFTs. Excuse me. We'll be implementing monthly good token airdrops and then building compatibility and spend for good tokens with partners marketplaces. So whether it's oracles, Metaverse games, or play to earn gaming guilds who want to have compatibility so that your good tokens are actually usable throughout the Web3 Metaverse. Phase 4 is our daily auctions and Metaverse compatibility. So we'll be launching the daily elite NFT auctions, building cross-chain compatibility into NFTs, implement evolving NFT formats, and integrate NFTs into partnered projects. Phase 5. So in 2023 is the international expansion. So right now we are focused a lot on English-speaking communities and countries. So we are already international, but this is about localizing into other languages and other cultures. So that's going to be throughout all of 2023, where we're going to be building local community and staff and regional expansion hubs, localizing all of our content, our platform, our governance, and the white paper. Phase 6 is the Metaverse game integration. So the year after that, and potentially this stuff may happen in parallel. We're going to propagate POG NFTs and identities to every metaverse game: Sandbox, Decentraland, Billionaire Zombies Club, etc. And we're going to build a metaverse minigame experience predicated on a real-world social impact. Again, coming back to the Pokemon Go of doing good deeds, where progression and utility are earned through good deeds on a POG protocol. And then finally, phase 7 is we will just create our own metaverse POG world. So 2025, we basically have the metaverse game world predicated on real-world social impact. It'll be a home for all of your POG avatars, collectibles, and community and educational spaces will be dedicated for art, music, healing, therapy, and other acts of good. Progression and utility are earned good deeds on the POG protocol. So voila, there you go. This is the pitch to BitDAO. So our ask is for a $5 million investment. We're not asking for free money. We're asking for them to believe in us and to invest in us, and to also profit off of an incredibly cheap sale. Because when we launch this token, the idea is that the scarcity and the finite supply and increasing demand will skyrocket the price. So we are going to make sure that BitDAO turns a nice profit off it, but also make sure that all of you get to turn a huge profit on this too. So that is the pitch and where we need your help. So there's a few things. One, this is a call to arms. I'll say this, frankly, the reality is if we're trying to build a sustainable ecosystem, we need the money. We need to raise the capital so we can actually secure the team and take care of our people that are dedicating immense amounts of time towards this. As you know, most of the people that are on this project are all volunteers. So they are sacrificing their economic earnings, their time to make this thing a reality. Really, we need to be paying our folks. So fundraising is just really essential for us for this thing to become a reality. So the first step is please do sign up and join the BitDAO discourse and their forums. Get your account ready to go. Try to get some BIT into your wallet. We are actually going to be working on plugging in BIT as rewards in our Leyline prize pool. So because everyone is already earning good points now, what we do is actually do drops of cryptocurrencies that you can claim from the mystery box. And you'll see here, you'll have some options to redeem for your good points for some actual BIT cryptocurrency. So it's important you do that because in order for you to vote on BitDAO, you actually need to hold some BIT coins. So as you can see here, this person was able to vote on this by holding some BIT in their wallet. And you need to hold this for 7 days prior to the proposal. So we need to get a head start and be ready for that. And that's it. That's mainly what we need for you guys to help. We're going to be doing a lot of the work to kind of build the connections, put the proposal in place. So our next step is I'm going to be submitting our proposal onto their BitDAO's discourse forums. I will link it in our community and just say, hey guys, here's our pitch. Please go ahead and jump into their forums, add some comments, be a part of the conversation, help to answer questions, show that we're a legitimate thing, that like our community is actually alive and active and we really believe in its vision. And yeah, then when it's ready, when we've moved on to actually submit the proposal, then let's rally together and then start to actually vote and get this thing passed. And then boom, that'll be $5 million of funding that we can immediately deploy and then take this project to the moon. So there you go. That is, that's the main thing. I think it's probably time for POAPs now that you've heard me speak for God knows how long, 30 minutes straight.
No, it's fascinating. The amount of work and thought that has gone into that document is really something remarkable. Thank you for for walking it through with all of us who, maybe everybody on the call is a co-owner and working in their own respective business units and from their own desk, but to see the culmination of so much prior preparedness, it's really awe-inspiring. Quick question from the audience from Hans, actually. How many bit do we need to vote?
I think it's 1 bit. I've seen someone vote for 1 bit. So it's very, very cheap. The way to get bit, we'll have to produce an FAQ. Philip, thanks for calling that out. So we'll provide some guides. I believe you can actually just easily swap it on some decentralized exchanges, and I think it's SushiSwap where you can swap Ethereum for Bit. We'll provide some guides for that. But we'll also just do some drops and through the mystery box. So it's quite minimal. The caveat, the real trick is actually in order to submit a proposal onto BitDAO's snapshot, you need to hold $200,000 worth of Bit in your wallet to qualify. So that is a trick, but this is why we're doing our fundraising now to pull in that cash so we could swap it for Bit, have it in our wallet, make the proposal to go. So we should be able to pull it off, I think, in the current fundraising activity that we're doing now.
It looks like Hans is going to pony up the cost of the proposal.
All right. Thanks, Hans.
Thanks, Hans.
Super
cool. Thanks so much.
It's only $200,000, right?
Yeah, you know. Fancy
I mean, honestly, it's freaking crazy. A $2 billion treasury, that is just so mind-boggling. You know, like, how do you deploy that, you know, to maximize, you know, the good in the world? It's like, I imagine a $5 million ask that's profitable should be able to pass. And the reason why is that we've been working on this for over a year and a half. This DAO has been together for over 2 months, and there's legitimately, you know, some serious work and impact is already happening. So this is really about putting rocket fuel onto the project.
I mean,
all right.
We're fortunate that we've been able to work with them closely. I mean, they seem mission aligned. So again, just to reiterate, there's going to be announcements coming, a FAQ coming for those that want to participate. We encourage, of course, to reiterate what Jeremy's already said, everybody to please get involved and help do this. Again, to go over some of the numbers that for proposals that have already been approved. What was it, 11 or 12 votes for the 500 million on the last project, right? So
yeah. It's very small, and we're a big community. So you could imagine if we just had 10% of our community pop in there and vote, boom, like GG, we got this. So most of it is just mobilizing and then participating. That's literally it. And this is the entire ethos of Web3, that this is a decentralized mode of operation where the people are empowered to do that. Oh, yes. Awesome. Thank you, DAO Hack. We'd love to, hear your thoughts, and we'll be submitting the proposal onto the forum soon. So happy to answer any questions and to, clarify their approach. Anything you'd like to know. So awesome. Love to see it.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions or comments from the community? Anything on Discord that we might have missed? I'm going to browse through Discord as well. Nothing on live stream.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, POAPs. Actually, we did drop the POAPs yet.
Huzzah.
So from my understanding, I was reading instruction from Paco and Elijah. In order to get your POAP drop, you do have to be on our Discord in the live stream channel. So I'm going to send the link here on YouTube to join the specific channel. Oops, that's not it. That didn't copy. Okay, here, this is one. So on the YouTube chat channel, I posted a link to our Discord and our live stream voice channel. If you're in there, we will run the bot to drop the POAP for you, and then you can claim it with the link directly. So sorry, it's a little bit of a convoluted process if you're only on YouTube right now, but please do jump into our Discord, make sure you're on a live stream channel, and then once you're there, the bot will actually drop you a specific link via DM for you to claim. Hans, am I getting that correctly? I hope so. All right. I'm all alone. Jeff is gone. Is this thing still on?
Sorry about that. A little bit of the back end. It looks like let's kick it over to Hans. Good Dao live stream channel. All right.
Yeah, you know what? We've got to figure out an efficient way to drop the POAPs. Like, I wonder if we should like just display a POAP QR code here on stream that allows people to claim. That may be the way to go, and we'll cap it at X amount of people. So it's like kind of first come first serve. So when you're watching it live, that's like the way to do it. I don't know. What do you think?
That might be interesting, because then we could take the recorded version if we do it at the end, and then we could just snip the end off that has the QR code portion as well.
But I think even then, the QR code will kind of max out at a certain amount. That may be easier than like, okay, click this link, go to the channel, make sure you're in there at a certain time, and then we run the bot. Like that might cut off a few people.
There might be some interesting options. POAPs have been kind of going through their own internal security audit type situation or revamp. There might be some new alternatives on Polygon that pay out like one medic participation, NEAT, for example. So maybe more to come on that. But again, yeah, good problems to have as we continue to scale and figure this out together, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think we will, like, we're working with a dev team right now to figure out how do we make the whole proof of good attendance easy to do. So we're trying to think about, if you're a charity and like you show up to volunteer at a local soup kitchen, the ideal user experience should not be, okay, log into your MetaVask wallet and then go to the website and then like connect to Polygon network and blah, 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 blah. It's like, really, it's just like, here's a QR code, scan it, you're done. You got your POAP, you got your NFT, you got your proof of good, you got your good points, it's good to go. That's really the experience that we want to create. So I think we're trying to figure out on the dev side how to actually make all that magic happen. And it'll cut out like 10 steps of, BS basically, which is like ultimately the biggest barrier to entry right now for most people to get into Web3.
100%. I mean, well, being in Bali right now, you see QR codes used a lot more prolifically than they are in the US, or like sometimes even at restaurants, you just order yourself right, off the QR code for your seat at the restaurant.
Totally. Oh, and by the way, everybody is like crypto crazy here, man. It's really incredible. Like, everyone's just like, crypto is it. So you can kind of see it on the ground. This stuff is really starting to emerge. And I think people see the opportunity. So it's starting to happen, guys. Like, it's this whole like movement, this explosion is really starting to take hold.
Let's see.
All right, yeah, we got a few more people now on the voice channel, 26 listening. Who is actually kicking off the bot? Oh, Hans, you're taking care of that? Oh, hey, Jason. I see your comment there. Jason collabing with Bankless DAO. Oh, awesome. Yes. We would love to connect Jason and learn and see how we can collab there. Lovely. Thank you for offering. We should totally connect. Hit us up on Discord. Okay, cool. We got 29 people now in the voice channel, so I think we can probably do some drop-in. And then hopefully we didn't miss a lot of people. I don't know how people are currently watching live now. We have 33 watching live. Okay, so yeah, we might have everybody covered.
Yep. And we've got some people over on Twitter as well, so they're not reporting. So if you are on Twitter, make sure that you come over to the Discord channel for Proof of Good to claim your POAP. If you're not already on there, go to proofofgood.io And in the footer, in the bottom left, you'll see the invite link for the Discord. Hop over there and make sure to complete your validation. Head over to the live stream channel and claim your POAP. If you have to go through a waiting process on that, don't be discouraged. We will be continuing to drop POAPs and adjusting our POAP schedule in the future. We do a number of events each week with opportunities to gain POAPs. So please come, get involved, do some good with us, get paid. And I don't see any other questions from the audience right now. I know that we've gone 7 minutes over with respect to time. So
Paul, any closing thoughts or comments from your side? It's dark and
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you hear me now.
Well, I couldn't overstate my enthusiasm about being able to just do something with a QR code or in some fashion just lickety split instead of having to go here and jump on this. For people my age, it's just it sucks the life out of you. So.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think you can kind of see this in that the crypto space, I think, has hit a bit of a threshold. The number of active crypto wallets around the globe is somewhere between 200 to 300 million active users, which is just a tiny drop in the bucket. And real mainstream adoption of technologies is around 1 billion mark. So we've got a big gap before we're even really hitting some mainstream audience. And I genuinely believe that user experience is one of the biggest barriers to entry, which is kind of boxing out so many people from this. I think the other element is just what are the on-ramps to crypto from fiat and off-ramps. I think those two key pieces need to be solved this year for us to really get into mainstream. And in large part, I think the responsibility is on us. It's on builders that are building these user experiences, applications, and killer apps to solve those hurdles. I think the infrastructure side is kind of lagging behind right now, but mainly it's most people aren't going to be experiencing Web3 from the infrastructure perspective. They're going to be experiencing from a mobile app. And so I think the onus is really on our side to kind of build the right UI.
Yeah.
So fun challenges, I think, to overcome. It's gonna be an interesting year.
It's the best industry in the. I used to say that crypto was the best industry in the world until I worked in Web3, and then working in philanthropy in Web3, I continue to add amendments. Best industry in the world. It's an honor to work with such a dedicated team and be excited to come to meetings and to try to find creative solutions to problems that have never been asked before. It's highly compelling work, or at least I find an intrinsic value in the work. And so much appreciated. That's my visionary statement for the night, I guess.
I agree with you, Jeff, completely. And like you say, it's a good set of problems to have, huh?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Looks like the bot has now activated, so the POAP should be dropping. If you have not yet received it, pop on over to Discord, ask for some help, and we'll make sure you're taken care of. But otherwise, thank you all so much for listening in. Please spread the word. Bring in people into the DAO. Let's get this thing going. Now is the time to grow. Let's increase the value of your tokens and your POG packs. And I love you all. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.